Hariom, and first invoking the blessings of our Pujya Gurudev, whose great grand vision, love, has made this university possible. And as you are aware, in the education system of even schools, his great vision has created not just institutions, but people of great achievement, dedication, and commitment, besides being highly successful in their fields. This is a very beautiful endeavor taken up by the university, something that was deep in our hearts, something that we executed even in our Chinmaya International Residential School, but in a more systematized way for our university. I am myself a beneficiary of such a type of mentor. Not just our Pujya Gurudev in the spiritual field, but when I was in school, and we didn't have these kind of systems, but school teachers pretty much took responsibilities for certain students, even though there were a number of students in our class. But I remember one of my teachers who was actually quite friendly with us, who would also sometimes stay back after class to help us solve certain problems or difficulties that we had in the subjects that he taught. Later on, we even requested him to teach us subjects, which of course were not required of him. It was not his duty as far as professionalism is concerned. He wouldn't. But if he wanted any doubt to be clarified, even on other subjects, he would be very willing to do it. And of course, he became one of our favorite teachers. One day he walked into the classroom. He had the results of our test papers. These marks would matter in our board examination. This was my last year in school. And he walks into the class, calls me by my surname. And when teacher calls you by surname, you know you're in trouble. And normally I'm very good at his subject. Each one thought that we were his favorite student. He was our favorite teacher. But walks into class, calls me by my surname, and from the door says, "You have not been studying at home." Now, this was my favorite subject. This was the subject of my choice for my university, for the course that I wanted. I generally did very well in that subject. And if in that subject I have not done very well, my percentage would be affected. I was very nervous. And then while giving the paper with the marks to everybody, he came and threw the paper on my desk. We were in the first batch of 10+2 schooling system. We were guinea pigs throughout the 75 batch. For the first time in our school, certain percentage was acquired by students. He throws on my table my paper, and I have never seen him give such an attitude. He just throws it on my desk and again says, "You have not been studying." Picked up my paper. I had 9 out of 10, means 90%. And those days, people didn't get 90% in theory papers. It was not heard of. I have topped the class. I have topped my school records And he's scolding me like this. We never got up and insulted our teacher, like, teacher, what's wrong with you? I waited for the end of the class and went running behind him. I said, sir, 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 I got 9 out of 10. He said, of course, I know. So I said, why did you scold me? And he said, what rank do you come? Very often I ask people to guess my rank, and generally they say I would probably be one of the last. But I proudly used to come for the last 5 years, 4th in my class. And I was quite happy. In the family, I was the topmost sibling in studies. In the class, I was amongst the top 5 for 5 years. I did my best. I was good at my studies. Yet he put a question to me, and that's when I realized how important it is for a teacher to recognize the potential in a student, make him aware of it, and help him to reach his or her potential. Maybe it's even beyond his job profile, but very much part of that most important, loving role that a teacher plays in our life, besides just coming and teaching the subject on the board and even teaching it well. But with the number of students generally which are there in colleges, something that I missed terribly in my university days, where there were 80 students, the teacher did not know the student, the students just saw the teacher on the blackboard, and other than that, there was no absolutely any communication. And if you wanted to even clear a doubt, you went to a tutorial school. Tutorial schools also had number of students eventually, that you did not get that mentoring. But the mentoring that I got from that teacher, my school teacher, which I then thought that this is how our schools should also mentor. And we introduced this in our Chinmaya International Residential School. And even though not formalized, that culture has continued, that our teachers on their own start mentoring students, not only in that subject, not interfering in their personal lives, but able to bring out the best in the student. And this teacher immediately asked me, why haven't you come first? Like a typical teenager, I just shrugged my shoulder and I said, I don't know. I have got topmost marks in your subject. Why are you complaining to me? He said, why haven't you come first in all the subjects? And made me recognize that I had the potential to come first in class. I said, sir, I don't know. And being my teacher, seeing my exam papers, seeing me in class, he recognized my strength and he recognized where I was lacking. This is the advantage of such a mentorship program, where that attunement with the teacher takes place. In the spiritual field, constantly that's what we have to do. But even in the academic field, the development of the student, not only his or her character virtues, but even intelligence and the recognition of their potential is so important. It is when this kind of rapport, communication, mentorship, as well as learning process takes place. We see that to some extent in some teachers in the schools. We need a mentor, but that becomes just the subject mentor when we do our doctorates. But the most important developing periods when there are confusions regarding choice of career, regarding what should be my purpose, courses I should choose. We go one time to some counselor for career counseling, etc. That growth does not take place. And what that teacher made me do, I was then saying, yes, sir, what do I do? And he said, your strength is that you pay attention in class and everything I have said, you have noted down, whether in your book or in your mind, and you can deliver it beautifully. And it is true that he told me, but you have not studied the textbooks on your own. I would read my elder brother's textbooks, but I didn't feel that I need to read my textbooks because my teacher has taught it all. He said, in the university, that will not happen. And he was so right. He made me study extra, even beyond my, syllabus. And next term, I stood third. I was overjoyed. I had broken that barrier of my success. I was thrilled. I was thankful to him. But he said, no, I want to see you in your last examination in the school come first. And he made me go beyond my self-imposed limitations. And the last year of school, after that, I didn't have a chance. When I broke those barriers, after that in life, never looked back or ever said that this is not possible for me, including this university, which is such a humongous project. Could not say that anything is impossible. This is the role of a teacher, a mentor. And as I launch this endeavor, I know and I'm confident that our faculty will put in their best with their love for the very profession of teaching and find greater fulfillment and enhance their role as teachers, as mentors, and our students who now have the advantage of having one mentor for few students because our ratio is an unbelievable ratio of faculty to students in a university. So while we have it, why not make the best of it so that our earlier batch of students can benefit from this mentorship? So, of course, here we will formalize it, we will grow with it, and I'm very, very happy that this is being taken up in the university. Our faculty members are inspired by it. Our Vice Chancellor is driving this, and I would request the students to take the best benefit from it. And these are moments with the faculty that you will cherish. As Aparauji said, you may not make a father-son or mother-daughter relationship for life. It's not possible all the time. And faculty members, don't get frightened that your responsibility will continue. But their gratitude and their reverence will remain eternally, like I have for that school teacher who made me realize my potential and gave me the direction of how I could improve and go beyond my success to significance. And it is because of that, and later on from Gurudev, that I gave the motto for our university, exceeding excellence. And this is how, by adding that extra little touch in our education system that we can exceed excellence. So I wish you all the best. And I'm sure this will take our university, our students, and faculty to develop even much further and become great contributors to our knowledge systems as well as to the country and the world. Hari Om.